Eli. I stood at the edge of Aunt Marnie's driveway, staring down the winding dirt path that cut through the trees. A refreshing Sunday walk, that's what I told myself I needed. I'd been holed up in the cabin for days, staring at a screen, trying to find inspiration for some design work that just wasn't coming. I hadn't seen much of the outside world since I'd arrived, aside from the occasional glimpse of the mountain views or a deer wandering too close to the porch. It felt like time to get out, to prove to myself I was actually trying to heal or whatever. I'd been avoiding the outdoors in favor of the comfort of the couch and the endless scrolling of my phone. I wasn't that guy, was I? So a walk. Simple, right? I'd tossed on a pair of old sneakers, the ones with the cracked soles, and a hoodie. The shoes were flimsy, the kind of shoes that should only be used for getting coffee or running errands that involve very little walking. But, hey, I was feeling ambitious. I'd left my water bottle on the kitchen counter, just a minor oversight. Who needed it when they were just going on a casual stroll? And the headphones? Well, I wasn't about to go for a walk without some music. I shoved them in, cranked up the volume to drown out the world, and pressed play on my latest playlist of indie pop that I thought was soulful and inspirational for this sort of thing. The first few steps were easy. The cool mountain air brushed across my face, the kind of crispness that made me think I was about to have some sort of transformative experience. The trees were tall, the forest quiet except for the occasional bird chirp. Maybe this was what I needed. Maybe I'd come to some huge realization on this walk. Maybe the stillness would give me a new sense of clarity. Except, 10 minutes in, I was already regretting this decision. My feet were sore, the flimsy shoes not designed for rocky terrain or the uneven, treacherous ground of the mountains. The path was more rugged than I'd anticipated, and every step made me question my life choices. I tried to keep up my optimistic mood, but my mind kept drifting back to the cabin. Was I really that out of shape? Did this walk even count as a hike? I wasn't sure, but I was already starting to wish I had some water. I tried to push the thoughts away. It was supposed to be refreshing. I was supposed to enjoy this. The music blared in my ears, but it was starting to feel less like motivation and more like a shield from the reality around me. I didn't really hear the sounds of nature, just the beat of the playlist, a steady reminder that I was here because I needed to do something, anything, to escape the gnawing feeling in the back of my head. I'd come here to find myself, whatever that even meant, to put some space between me and the mess I'd left behind. The breakup, the city, everything that felt like it was closing in on me. So far, all I'd found was a sore heel and an overwhelming desire for a cup of coffee. I pushed on, one step after another, trying to ignore how much my body was starting to resent this walk. The sweat was starting to gather at the back of my neck, and I could feel my heart rate picking up. No, this was fine. I was fine. I could do this. I could totally walk through the woods like an adult. And then I stepped on a rock. My ankle twisted in a way that felt unnatural, and I stumbled forward, barely catching myself on a tree. I muttered under my breath, pulling one headphone out to shake my head in disbelief at my own stupidity. Really? Really, Eli? I said to no one in particular. I stood there for a few seconds, staring at the tree as if it might suddenly offer me some sage advice. When it didn't, I gave up and limped forward, more slowly this time, trying not to make my sore ankle worse. I looked up at the trees, the way the branches reached out like arms trying to pull me into their calm. Maybe I was supposed to stop, sit down, and actually enjoy this moment. But I had a feeling if I did that, I'd be stuck here for the next few hours, making excuses about why it was better to be lost in the woods than facing my thoughts. Instead, I kept walking. Slowly, my shoes made a squelching sound against the damp ground, and I could feel my body pushing against its limits, but my brain was already somewhere else. This wasn't the peaceful, life-altering experience I'd imagined, but at least I could say I'd tried. I guess that was something. But I couldn't ignore the nagging feeling, like maybe this wasn't just about needing to stretch my legs. Maybe it was about something bigger, something I wasn't ready to face. Great. Now I was overthinking a walk. I huffed and pressed on, hoping the end of the path wasn't too far off.